Hey friend, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, it's Hazel's Nuts. Hazel's Nuts is a 10% bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout from Oddside Ales in Grand Haven, Michigan. You know it's fall in Michigan when you start seeing Hazel's Nuts on the shelves, and every time I say the name of this beer, I get this image in my head, and I'm sure you can just imagine what I'm thinking. Anyhow, I picked this one up about 2 weeks back or so when I got a few bottles of another one of Oddside's fall stouts, the Nightman Leaveth. I put up a Twitter poll to see which beers I should start reviewing first, and Hazel's Nuts, pardon my language, beat out stuff like the Nightman and Bell's Black Note, which I have to say I was kind of surprised about. You can check me out on Twitter at Draft Therapy, draft_therapy. So if you want to be a part of those polls, head on over to Twitter and give me a follow there. Don't worry, I'll get to the other beers I mentioned very, very soon. So let's take a look at this bottle and get into this. Hazel's Nuts kind of has this, big top carnival deal going on here with a bearded lady. Has a nice set of earrings on there, and on the front it says Hazel's Nuts, stout aged in bourbon barrels with coffee and natural hazelnut flavoring. Life tastes sweeter when it's wrapped in debauchery. And this one was brewed, I believe, on the label here it says 10/11/17, just a few weeks back, not too long ago. So I'm going to use a snifter for this. Got one right here, and let's crack this baby open, see what we can tell. And the top is just the typical Oddside Ales cap, nothing special. Has the hops on there and Oddside Ales in its traditional font. Let's crack this one open. I can definitely smell Imperial Stout coming out of there. Let's see what we can smelling it. Okay, kind of smells a little chocolatey. I guess, yeah, I smell hazelnut right off the bat, too, and it has kind of like a Nutella. You know, if you've ever had Nutella, which if you haven't, you should try it. It's really good. It has that kind of smell to it. Get a little bit of chocolate, get a little bit of a bourbon kind of scent to it. Let's pour it instead of sniffing it out of the bottle. We'll get a good sniff out of the actual glass. And the pour is really dark. It looks really thick coming out of here. We'll leave a little tiny bit in the bottom of the bottle here for no reason other than just because. No head. As you can see, there's not much of a head there at all. Yeah, again, I'm getting a lot of hazelnut, getting a little bit of the bourbon scent to it, a little bit of chocolate, and it's intriguing because all those are good smells. It smells really good. It smells nice and sweet. It smells like something you'd want to drink, so that's always a good sign, right? Let's give it a taste. Okay, so getting the bourbon right off the bat, getting a lot of the bourbon taste, and the back end has a little bit of that hazelnut. It definitely, you can tell the ABV shows through in this. It's not hidden entirely well, but that's not a bad thing. Kind of swishing it around a little bit. Let's get another taste. I'm getting some weird kind of tastes out of this, so it's kind of hard for me to really decipher what I'm getting here. So the mouthfeel, let's start with that. The mouthfeel's thick. It's kind of syrupy a little bit. Kind of clings on your tongue a little bit there. Get a tiny tinge of hazelnut in the back. And again, when I breathe in, as I kind of try and talk about this, the alcohol, the higher ABV, I can really kind of feel it on my tongue with bringing the air in on top of it. Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of the bourbon, a little bit of a chocolatey, kind of hazelnutty taste on the back end, but it's really kind of, I don't know, I find it really kind of overpoweringly bourbony. I mean, of course, it's an Imperial Stout. It's aged in bourbon barrels. Bourbon barrel aging is in all types of beer now. I mean, you'll get IPAs that are bourbon barrel aged. You get obviously a lot of stouts, a lot of porters. I'm almost starting to wonder if it's a little overdone, like everything's bourbon barrel aged just to, I don't know, amp the ABV, but to give it that discerning kind of bourbony taste. And I can't tell. It's like the ABV kind of amps the sweetness. It's like almost it's almost like artificial sweetener. That's how sweet. It's like you smack the roof of your mouth kind of sweet. It's not, I don't know. It's not I'm not really finding it to be a really satisfying kind of sweetness. Like I said, you get that chocolate kind of, almost a dark chocolate kind of bitterness at the back end mixed with that hazelnut. I think the scent kind of betrays you a little bit because you smell it and you get the bourbon, but it's more of a pleasing sweetness, almost like a maple syrupy kind of sweet smell to it. But then when you drink it, you get almost too, for me at least, I find it to be almost a little bit too sweet. With most bourbon barrel stuff, this is one that I think I could probably only drink one of. I couldn't sit and drink, multiple. This was sold in singles. I'm pretty sure this is normally sold as a single bottle. Again, I don't think this is something I would want to drink more than one of. This is one that, like I've said before in the past, of higher ABV Imperial Stouts, it's kind of something that you would enjoy at the end of your day. You wouldn't probably sit down and watch a football game with your buddies and drink a Imperial Stout, of course, unless that's the type of person you are. That's not the type of person I am. I would probably drink a regular stout for that. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of a coffee with the hazelnut. The coffee maybe is what the bitterness at the end is. It's a little bit of a chocolatey kind of coffee bitterness, and I'm picking up the hazelnut right at the end. It's not really what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting something a little bit sweeter, a little bit more of a sweet stout, maybe more of a milk stout than an Imperial Stout. I mean, it says an Imperial Stout right here on the label, so it's not lying to me, but I just didn't pick up. I was just expecting maybe more of a sweetness to it. So I'm getting the coffee with a little bit of hazelnut as it warms up, gets a little bit more room temperature. I'm picking that up a little bit more, and I am finding it a little bit more pleasing as it gets a little bit closer to room temperature than I did initially. I just think that artificial sweet taste that I get is still kind of overpowering the real subtlety of the coffee and the hazelnut, that little maybe dark chocolate kind of bitterness with the coffee. I think I would prefer it to be maybe a little less of that artificial sweet kind of taste to it and maybe a little bit more of the coffee. A little bit more of the coffee and the hazelnut would probably be a little bit more pleasing to me. So that, my friends, is Hazel's Nuts from Odd Side Ales. I really thought for some reason that the fall and upcoming winter months were going to slow me down and let me catch up on some of the beers I've had waiting in the fridge, but it seems like it's moving even faster and faster than it was in the summer. What are some of the beers that you're anticipating for the rest of this year? And did you get a chance to get a ticket for Founder's CBS release? Let me know all about it in the comments below. And while you're down there, why not like, subscribe, and share this video? Don't be selfish and keep all this beery goodness to yourself. Share it with your friends. You know they want to know about this too. You can also find links to my social media in the description below this video. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.